He's one of our new best friends. He's Marcus Spears, the big swagoo, former NFL defensive end. And you can see him on NFL Live Monday through Friday at 4 Eastern on ESPN. They're out here in Scottsdale. Catch the big swagoo along with Laura Rutledge, Mina Kimes, Dan Orlovsky, and Ryan Clark. Let's say hello to Marcus Big Swagoo Spears.
Dan, that was too long. I'm not that interested.
All right. I don't know what that look is. I don't know what the official.
Well, you gave me this. You gave me this big introduction, man.
Okay.
I feel like this is my first late night talk show.
Oh yeah.
Do I need to wear these?
Yeah, if you want to, it might keep your ears warm.
Yeah. I feel like I need to do something like they do on the late night show. I'm good though.
All right.
I'm good.
Could you beat up all four of those guys? Right,
absolutely.
At once?
Throw them over that rail.
You could?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get rid of them one by one.
When's the last time you got into a fight?
It's been a long time ago. I won, though.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. They used to call me Tyson when I was young, Dan, because I was a one-hitter quitter artist.
Oh, that's it?
You know, I used to show up for Tyson fights, and you're excited, and you have like 30 seconds in, you realize you wasted $200.
Yes.
That was it. That was me.
Why would somebody fight you?
Because the big guy always gets tested. But when I'll tell you this, when MMA and UFC started, that's when I stopped fighting. Because the little dudes can fight. You don't know who you're dealing with anymore, man.
Well, I always look for the ears.
Yeah, if the ears messed up, run. Run.
But who's the baddest dude that you ever played with or against?
The baddest dude I ever played against.
On the field. Like the guy who might have scared you a little bit. Made you nervous.
He was on my team, Larry Allen.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, obviously. He wasn't human. That's number one. Which changes everything about your advantages. He was strong. I was a rookie. He was a veteran. He wanted me to buy him a bottle of Louis XIII. I had no idea what that was. Didn't know what it cost. I went to the liquor store. Can we talk about alcohol on here? Yeah. I'm sure we can.
Yeah.
I already started.
Yeah.
Went to the liquor store. I realized it was $2,500 for a bottle. Went back to the locker room. DP had no idea what was going to happen to me because I didn't buy the bottle. $2,500, I couldn't really compute that at the time. I was still fresh out of Baton Rouge, broke and poor. I hadn't realized I was in the NFL. So I was like, bro, I'm not buying that bottle. He was like, you gonna buy that bottle. I was like, I'm not buying that bottle. And I told him, I said, whatever you gotta do, we gonna have to do it. We have to do it, man.
Really?
It was like a jail situation. It's not happening.
I would have borrowed the money to buy the bottle.
Nah, Dan. Sometimes you got to put your foot down, even if it means you might lose a foot.
And what happened?
Well, we tussled. We tussled at practice, and it wasn't as bad as I thought. I lost, but it wasn't as bad as I thought.
Did you ask for any advice from your teammates?
No, this was all about me. You ever seen that scene in Life when Eddie Murphy said he can't have his cornbread? No. It was the exact thing. I knew I was going to have to fight, and it was fine. It was good with me. I grew up fighting. I wasn't, every man puts his pants on the same. That's my mentality. And Dan, trust me, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Okay? But if it got to go down, it can go down.
When you play for the Cowboys, at what point do you realize this is different than any other team? And, the media coverage is just different than everybody else.
Immediately, man. It is. I tell people all the time, that is the biggest acclamation to playing with Dallas. Eventually, football becomes football, right? You practicing, you got your schedule, you're going through it. But to always have media, literally always have a microscope everywhere you go, it's different. And I was happy when I went to Baltimore because I got a different experience of what the different things were. But, I mean, it's no coincidence that is the most valuable franchise. It's covered the most. Ratings go through the roof when people talk about them. So you realize, though, it's a 24/7 news cycle about the Dallas Cowboys. Even if it's not national, somebody is having a conversation about Dallas.
But consciously, subconsciously, when you do NFL Live, how often are you trying to get the Cowboys into the show every day?
I'm not. I try to get them in as least as possible.
Why?
Personally.
Okay.
because they break my heart every damn year.
Oh,
man.
okay. But if Dak Prescott played someplace else,
Yeah.
how would the media cover his performance? Now, they might look at his contract, and I don't know if they treat him like they do Kirk Cousins.
They wouldn't treat him as bad, or we wouldn't have that much conversation. Look, the reality is this is not new territory, right, for any quarterback playing with Dallas. I knew who Troy Aikman was before I knew what football was. And I grew up a Jerry Rice fan. I was more of players fans than a team. So Reggie White and Jerry Rice was the guys that I watched. But I knew who Troy Aikman, Mike Irvin, and Emmitt Smith were because David Blaine went there and did some magic tricks during Hard Knocks. And they had every microscope you could possibly have. And also they were winning, which we haven't done in a long time.
Yeah.
But let's not get into that, Dan. I want to stay focused on why the Cowboys are who they are. They were marketed. So you realize, like, this is reality show football, all of that stuff intertwined with playing the game.
Yeah, because it feels like the Cowboys are Hard Knocks every single day.
100%. 100%.
You don't need a TV show. They are a TV show.
Well, look.
And then you bring in Jerry, who wants to be the owner, GM, coach, and quarterback.
He wants to be everything.
Yes.
Dan, let me say this, okay? Some people might get pissed off. Jerry actually wants to win. He just don't know how. But if you talk to him and you realize how much he wants to win a Super Bowl and a championship, it'll get you going. Because it's not false when he talks about, I want to win it, I want to get it done. He just don't know how to go about it.
Here's the problem, though. Jerry wants all the credit.
Yeah.
And with that comes all the blame as well.
Yeah.
If you move on from Jimmy Johnson, that tells me an awful lot about he got a lot of credit there.
Have we ever talked about maybe the Cowboys are cursed because of Jimmy Johnson?
You think Jimmy cursed them?
I'm not a big baseball guy, all right? But I like baseball, all right? I'm not big because I'm not following everything that happens in it. And, they get to the championship series, I'll sit down and watch it. The curse of the Bambino was a real thing, I thought, right? And then the Red Sox won. Finally. You telling me we're going to have to wait a damn 100 years? Was it 100 years, Dan?
But maybe you do a sacrifice, like burn Jimmy Johnson's boat or something.
Well, they do it to me every day on TV. I'll be the sacrifice if it means a Super Bowl.
By the way, we're talking to Marcus Spears, the big swagoo. You can see him Monday through Friday on NFL Live. Dan Orlovsky is going to die on that hill that Joe Montana is not a top 5 quarterback of all time.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
But I wonder what Brady's legacy did to Joe Montana. Because for such a long period of time,
It was Joe.
Yeah. Because he won his Super Bowls and that was it. But, like, you can't drop from 1 to 18 or something.
Listen, Dan thinks he know everything. Y'all know that. Y'all have him on all the time. And I got to fight with him because he's the quarterback guru, even though he didn't play that much. But honestly, like that's me and Dan talk about football a lot. And like, truthfully, I think he's one of the best and brightest football minds I've ever been around when it comes to breaking the game down, dissecting. But to not have Joe Montana in the top 5 quarterbacks is stupid.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes you have to experience it. You have to see that person.
Yeah, I don't care, Dan.
To understand their greatness.
I don't care. I don't care about seeing him. I know he won 4 Super Bowls.
You could use Orlovsky as a Q-tip. You know that?
Orlovsky is little.
He looks like a Q-tip.
So he told me yesterday he came in with no jacket.
Yeah, he said, I didn't know. He had hand warmers and no jacket when he came in here.
That is the exact definition of Dan Orlovsky. You see me today?
Yeah,
I'm bundled up.
Yeah, you're ready to go.
I tuck my socks in my. So, DP, this is what the NBA players do. They tuck their socks in they put their pants in their socks.
Yeah.
And in honor of the KD trade and Bron breaking the scoring record, I wanted to dress like an NBA player today. A lot of good stuff going on in the NBA.
A little shout out there.
Yeah, a little shout out.
Okay, greatest
Look,
team.
y'all, look.
Travis Scott?
You know it.
He's got the Travis Scott ones on.
I didn't buy them, but
Those things are perfection.
Yeah.
You didn't buy them?
Nuh-uh.
All right, so let me find the plug.
I gotta give a shout out. So Isabel Harrison
Okay, Isabel.
Isabel, WNBA star.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good friend of mine, family friend. My wife and her older sister played at LSU together. We family. She got me these. She's a Jordan athlete. Shout out to Izzy.
Okay.
Okay, Izzy, shout out to you.
I didn't mean to do that,
Marvin,
Dan.
you're not going to get some
I know.
free stuff.
I didn't mean to plug that, but it just happened.
Yeah,
It
right.
happened that way.
So, better team player
Yeah.
resume, LeBron or Tom Brady?
Better team player resume.
Like the accomplishments over 20-plus years.
Brun. I think Brun, 3 teams, 3 championships. 3 with 3 different teams. That's tough. That's tough to do, DP.
Well, going to Miami when they had Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, that ain't tough.
Well, they didn't win it when he left.
Yeah. But
He's the
having
common-
him with Dwayne Wade, that's 2 other Hall of Famers there.
I know, and I don't want to get into this with you because I love you and I like you a lot. But we act like the teams that Jordan played with, the other dudes around him was trash. Scottie Pippen damn near won league MVP when Jordan retired.
They should have gone to the
We
NBA
gotta
Finals
stop
that
this.
year.
Dennis Rodman, the Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
People don't respect Bill Cartwright and Horace Grant. Those were really good players.
Tony
for
Kukoc.
that time. Cool coach. B.J. Armstrong.
Yeah.
We saw John Paxson and Steve Kerr hit game winners. Everybody acts like Bron was the first one to play with great players. We saw a mass exodus to Houston. Charles Barkley was 900 years old.
Yeah, but
and he tried to
Mike
go to
didn't.
Houston.
Mike
tried to go to
didn't
Houston.
leave to hook up with other players.
Because they came there.
But they drafted them.
Oh, it's okay, Dan. They were in Chicago. First of all, how many times have you got on the radio and said, you know what, I'm gonna go hoop in Cleveland?
Well, I'm from Ohio.
No, I'm saying, how many times have you said, I'm going to go hoop in Cleveland?
Probably never.
Okay, and you from Ohio?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
But I always think of LeBron. He's a Cleveland Cavalier.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
And
The
way-
Lakers won't be his last team.
And the legacy is this too. The way he was treated when he left Cleveland, we don't give him credit for going back. Don't get me started on LeBron. I love the guy.
I know I do too. I think he's the greatest player of all time.
Right. He went back and delivered a championship.
But
to
Tom
Cleveland.
Brady's resume, to me,
Yeah.
is more impressive because Brady plays in a one-and-done playoff system.
Well, it's harder. I argue this with Kendrick Perkins all the time. It's harder to win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you got one bad game, you're out. If
Yeah.
LeBron has one bad game against the Celtics, you can come back and they got to beat you
100%.
3 more times.
100%.
All right. So are we okay?
But LeBron got to play defense and offense.
Well, I've seen him sometimes. He didn't play any defense.
That's okay.
right.
What a chase down block.
Tom,
Dan, let's not do it.
Andre Iguodala. I know. But sometimes Tom plays great defense by playing great offense to keep his defense off the field.
Sure does.
Yeah, touche. How about that?
Dan, we are not going to see how that. When Dan won in Tampa, when Tom won in Tampa, you think the defense was more responsible or the offense?
In the Super Bowl,
Defense,
Defense.
right? All right. Well,
but how about the whole season? How about the totality of the season? Why?
it was the number 1 defense in the league.
Don't make me go Larry Allen on you.
Well, let's
I'll
get
make
it.
you go to the liquor store and
Let's
buy
do
me
it.
something.
I told him,
Buy me-
you can get thrown over the rail too.
Do you want to talk about the Super Bowl?
If you want to. We can do whatever you want
Better
to do.
defensive line.
Philly. Complete.
Deep.
You can't say that I'm gonna give all this attention to Hassan Reddick because Josh Sweater hit your quarterback in the back of the head. Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox, and Ndamukong Suh had a revival.
Yeah.
He's starting to rush the passer at a high level.
But they brought him in probably to shore up the run game.
Up the run game.
Yeah.
And then we saw him put a quarterback out, the second quarterback from San Francisco. I think when it comes to Philly, man, the difficult part for Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy going into this game is figuring out how to protect. Not because if your guys can't block them one-on-one, it don't matter anyway, right? But how do you allocate? You like that word? I'm starting to learn some financial stuff. Like, how do you allocate resources? You like that?
Well, it's
You
got
like
to
that?
pay dividends.
It's got to pay dividends.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. You got to allocate resources to making sure you get these guys blocked up. And I really think the only way you do it is obviously getting the ball out of Pat's hands quick. And Andy frustrated the hell out of me against Cincinnati because he kind of just flippantly ran the football out of shotgun. you better figure out how to use Pacheco to keep these dudes from pinning their ears back and taking advantage of your offensive line. And the Chiefs' offensive line is good. They protect it well.
Is Patrick Mahomes a top 10 quarterback of all time right now?
Yeah. I truly believe he is. I believe if Patrick Mahomes retired today, he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Do you believe that Aaron Rodgers would not retire this year because he doesn't want to share the Hall of Fame spotlight with Tom Brady and J.J. Watt?
I mean, everything I've seen about Aaron Rodgers tells me he don't want to share the spotlight with J.J. Watt and Tom Brady. He wants his own dark room Hall of Fame ceremony.
Have you ever gone into a dark room for 4 days to get clarity?
No, I don't know how that works. Darkness to me means death. I ain't trying to die, Dan.
Wow.
It's just that simple.
We just got deep there.
Hey, man.
But what happens when you walk into the room and it's dark? I can't find the chair. I can't find the,
If I want to go to sleep, okay?
Yeah.
I go in a dark room, and then I wake up and I go outside because the sun is good for you.
But would you take anything personally when you faced a quarterback?
Man, let me ask you a question.
All right, here we go.
Let me ask you a question.
All right.
Why is it always filthy rich people that do dumb stuff? You know what I'm saying? I grew up.
Poor people don't skydive.
I grew up in Baton Rouge, okay? My mom worked hard. My dad worked hard. We didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have a lot of allocated resources.
Okay. You might have been in a dark room not by your choice.
But that's what I'm saying. They were going through a lot trying to raise me and my sister, get us the events and sports and try to get us to school and do our work well. That's a high stress level, right? While being broke, they never needed a retreat in a dark room for clarity. It's like it's all the rich people, I'm gonna go sit in a room for 4 days. Bro, you made $50 million this year. Turn the lights off in your damn house and sit in there for 4 days.
Yeah. Why do you have to pay to go someplace, fly someplace to sit in a dark room?
I don't get it, Dan. There's certain things about life I don't understand. Why rich people get free stuff more than poor people?
You just pointed out you got free stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I'm benefiting from it. I'm not going to say, no, don't give me the Travis Scotts.
Do you have rich people problems?
No. I will be, though. I will have one.
It's great to see you. And
too,
thanks for
brother.
joining us. All the appearances during the year, we always got a great reaction, and we appreciate that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me, man. I
He is
appreciate it.
Marcus Spears, the big swagoo. You can see him. He'll be here 4 Eastern in Old Town Scottsdale.
Old Town Scottsdale, baby.
All right, got Mina Kimes. I saw you pushing her around yesterday on the set.
Yeah, she tried to play guard. She too light. Not enough rocks in her
Laura,
pocket.
Laura Rutledge, Mina Kimes, Dan Orlovsky, and Ryan Clark. We'll be back. We got our play of the day after this Dan Patrick Show.